Hello, my friends. I'm glad to be with you, and thank you so much, my friends, for being here and watching this video. I appreciate you, and I truly appreciate your time. My friends, we heard a lot of talk lately about whether Trump would use nuclear weapons against Iran. And first off, let me say that I found it extremely repulsive and just insane that in this day and age we're still talking about these horrible, absolutely devastating weapons. But what if people talk about it? You have to talk about it, and you have to discuss it. Um, as far as I'm concerned, these weapons should have been outlawed way back and should not be used. Really, should not be used uh, unless you see nuclear weapons falling on your head. Then maybe you will have a justification to respond in kind. But they should not be used under any other condition. If you think I don't know if you if you saw videos, footage, or read about the bombs that were dropped on Japan in 1945. Uh, they were horrific, but the weapons of today, my friends, the nuclear weapons are 100 times, maybe even more, 100 times worse than those ones. They're lethal, they're devastating, they can just wipe out the whole nation, whole country. Many of you liked the analogy when I compared Trump to a big elephant who was stuck in a swamp. And every time he tries to free himself, he sinks more in the swamp and he doesn't know how to get out. Then a smart guy came along and said, why don't we just drain the swamp? This way the elephant will be free. Uh, and I want you to think of this swamp as being Iran. I want you to think of the draining the swamp as this horrific, horrible, lethal weapon, the nuclear weapon. And so it seems like some people think the using nuclear weapons might be the solution to uh, help Trump and let him free of this swamp that he got himself into. There are two problems before I tell you what I think about that. There are two problems with the main two, I mean, he has several issues, but two main issues with Trump. Uh, Number one, uh, the man is sick. He's mentally sick. He's a narcissist, and he has. I bet you, if he submit to a psychological evaluation, he will fail. And that's why I insist. I insist, and I think sometime, maybe not in my lifetime, but in the future, Congress will must pass legislation to test any candidate for president, to test him or her for mental fitness, my friends. Uh, I mean, you can serve well if you have, blood pressure issues, or if your legs are cut off, you can still be a good president. But when there is something, wrong upstairs, I don't think he can do the job, and it's very evident. We see it every day. Uh, and the other issue I see with Trump is that the man is clueless. He's not. Uh, he doesn't know anything about foreign policy, and then he hires this guy Marco Rubio, who's an idiot also. Uh, he doesn't know much about the military. He doesn't know, so he hires this guy, the broadcaster, who doesn't have any military experience. Uh, he doesn't know anything, and he depends uh, largely on people who tell him what to do, people who give him advice. One of these people, let me just show you. One of these people is Mark Levin. Mark Levin is he's a conservative. He has I believe, a radio talk show. Um, he considers himself a political analyst. I heard he's a lawyer, but I'm not sure. But this guy is, he has Trump's ear, and Trump listens to this guy. Let me show you a clip what he says. Difficult. First, the Iranian regime is not going to surrender. It is never going to surrender. You know, we've been in wars before where we fought enemies that wouldn't surrender either. Remember the kamikazes? Remember Japan? Remember the emperor was like a demigod to the people back then? Tojo was very stubborn, very headstrong. And unfortunately, we had to drop 2 atomic bombs until they would surrender. Obviously, we're not going to do that now. Okay. Obviously, Iran is not going to surrender. Who are you? Who are you? Why should they surrender to you or to anybody? I mean, my friends, imagine yourself sitting in your house and somebody shows at your door, and he says, "I want your house. I want you to surrender your house to me, and if you don't, I will hurt you really bad." What would you do? Would you say, "Oh, okay, okay, no, don't hurt me. I'll surrender my house. Here's my country. Take it. Just leave me alone." This is exactly the situation we're in. And then this guy tries to deceive you some more and brainwash you some more. Try to draw some comparison between this situation and Japan. Absolutely, absolutely, two different situations. Uh, Iran, did not attack you in Pearl Harbor. Iran, all your intelligence reports told you that Iran does not pose an imminent threat to the U.S. to launch this attack on Iran. So there's no comparison, but he's trying to bring Japan in the mix to make you think that using nuclear against Iran uh, would be justified, and that's not the case at all. Uh, I mean, my friends, I know we are in a situation, in a state of lawlessness in this universe right now, but this is beyond that. This is way beyond that. My microphone keeps falling off. I don't know what to do with it. We are in this is absolute insanity. It has nothing to do with the law. It has nothing to do with the international law, which is completely gone. But this is absolute insanity. What these guys are absolutely nuts. Uh, uh, but I see my time here is coming up. TikTok only gives me 10 minutes, but I will be very happy to finish this subject with you next time and discuss this some more and tell you what I think might happen. I hope to see you next time. Bye.